So let's understand about the Dynatrace. I will go a little bit history and then I'll start from the PPT. Okay. So Dynatrace. So anyone heard about this Dynatrace tools earlier? You worked on Dynatrace. I think most of the people are aware of, right? Dynatrace. Correct. So Dynatrace has a two flavor. One is managed and one is SaaS. So anyone knows what is the difference between managed and SaaS? Hope everyone is aware of that. Managed means your Dynatrace server would be running on your Dynatrace cloud environment. Managed is your Dynatrace server would be running on your customer data center. Customer data center. Either it could be AWS, it could be Azure, or it could be on-prem. It support while installing your managed server. Okay, it support only Linux family. It does not support Windows family. Okay, like sometimes you install, if you compare with SolarWinds example, SolarWinds servers can be installed if you are taking on-prem. It can be installed on Windows also and Linux also, right? Same way, when you installing Dynatrace managed server, it required only Linux family. Either you can take Red Hat, yeah, Sushi Linux, yeah, CentOS, yeah, Imagine Linux, whichever, right? That Linux family belongs to that. Okay, that hardware specification will discuss little later. Okay, SaaS means your Dynatrace server would be running in your Dynatrace cloud environment. So when you create a Dynatrace SaaS account, right? We used to take a trial account, something like that, right? When you create a Dynatrace trial account, it'll ask you which region and which data center you want to deploy your Dynatrace server. Based on that, it will select your AWS account. Yeah, based on that, it will select your Azure account. Okay. So when you are creating an account in your enterprise level, okay, in your organization level, what you have to do is you have to interact with your sales team and you ask them my all the infrastructure, including your application, your all those things running on which cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP, right? So you can tell them based on that, your application resides on which continent, which city, right? Like suppose you are in US, your application mostly focus on US, some of the city, California, Texas, right? Florida. Then you can put that region, okay, and then you select and create an account so that your Dynatrace server will get established, created on your AWS account, AWS data center, their Azure data center, whatever, right? So you have to interact with your sales team during your enterprise setup when you are creating a Dynatrace trial account. You otherwise, when we create account as a trial, we can create any data center, right? Either a US region, Europe region, APAC region, any region I can create that. But however, when your application resides in that region, basically you create on that region itself, okay, so that it will be a data flow, which will be a very smoothly. Okay, so we have a two flavors. So Dynatrace provide both the flavors, managed and SaaS. Okay, coming to the observability, what are the observability features that Dynatrace provide? Okay, so in the observability, it provide your infra monitoring, it provide your application monitoring. It also provide your real user monitoring, which is called RAM. Yes, some of the tools it's called end user monitoring, EUM. Okay, it is the same. Fourth is it also provide database monitoring. It also provide your cloud observability. It also contains log monitoring. Okay, it also contains DevOps, means security, DevSecOps. You heard about this, right? Sometimes your application become a vulnerable, and you need once it will become vulnerable, then you try to find their CV ID, and then you do some application upgrade, yeah, something like that, right? Sometimes your application becomes vulnerable, yeah, sometimes code become vulnerable. So it also help you to detect that which application it is vulnerable and how you can rectify this issue. So, sorry, just a minute, my internet got this. मेरा मोबाइल क्या हुआ यार, ये जो लाइट है ना, हॉटस्पॉट इसमें on करना है. Sorry, my internet got disconnected. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So it also provides DevSecOps monitoring. Okay. Then Dynatrace has AI. Dynatrace was developed on the core AI. Okay. That AI name is Davis AI. Okay. So Dynatrace, a complete platform, was developed on the AI. So the AI will help you to analyze the problem. So basically, what you need to do is you need to understand that, and then AI will help you what is the root cause. Okay. So these are the feature that Dynatrace provide. And when you talk about Kubernetes, they have dedicated integration with the all the cloud, AWS, Azure, VMware. VMware has a Tanzu cloud, right? Then we have dedicated for Kubernetes integration. Okay, like either we have a EKS, AKS, GKE, right? Any clouds you have, Kubernetes service you have, you can do direct integration so that it will give you the precise level of data so that you can analyze and you can understand that. Okay. So coming to the PPT, let me know once my screen is visible. So as the first, before knowing Dynatrace, first we should know what is APM and why is it required. So APM stand for Application Performance Management, yeah, Application Performance Monitoring Tools. We cannot argue with them. Both are similar and same is provide the same thing. But when you talk about it is a both are same. Okay. So when you talk about proactive monitoring and predictive monitoring, right? So APM is an essential tool to help optimize and monitor the application performance. Okay. It's the same tools, but the difference here is when you talk about management provided traces, right? Suppose you are buying a one car, okay, and when you would like to understand that what is the car, so like this what you used to call tire, so that tire you want to understand, right? How much area that you have, so you can understand that, you can predict that, right? Something gonna happen, right, with the display of a screen, so it will be easier for you to understand that. So it provided traces, right? So in terms of Dynatrace provide lots of tracing. Okay. So in the terms of APM, any application go for a release from application was developed and go for a release in the production, APM monitoring tools, either a Dynatrace, a Datadog, a Neural Lake, any or, enterprise tools are required to monitor your application so that you can able to understand what is the performance of your application and how you can optimize, right, to and monitor the performance of your application, right? So coming to the Dynatrace is a software intelligence company providing an application performance management piece of software. Okay, so Dynatrace is nothing but just like a software for them. It also has a artificial intelligence for operations, which is called AIOps, cloud infrastructure monitoring, digital experience management with the product of information technology department, which you have a large business, you have a medium enterprise business, you have, and the technology you application provide that you can monitor that. Company service include application performance management, also both on running on on-premise and SaaS,
This software manages availability and performance of your software application, impact on the user experience. So if some of the application having a lot of issue, right, on the user side, client side, you can able to monitor that end user monitoring, okay, in the form of deep transaction tracing. And also it can be provide synthetic monitoring, real user monitoring, and network monitoring. Okay, any questions? Clear? No? Okay, so coming to the Dynatrace SaaS architecture. So Dynatrace has, in terms of SaaS, only two components. As a one is one agent. That name itself, agent name itself is called one agent. Okay, so Dynatrace itself is famous as a one agent. Okay, so one agent will be sitting on your all the target nodes. Okay, like you suppose your application has a running on 5 servers, is a microservice, it is a monolith running on 5 servers, including a database. Agent has to be installed on all the servers, not like only on one server. Agent has to be installed on all the servers and send the data to Dynatrace SaaS cluster via port 443. Okay, so over the internet, port 443 means over the internet, it sends the data to Dynatrace SaaS cluster when you open the firewall. When you open this gate, it will reach the data to Dynatrace SaaS cluster. You can able to see data in Dynatrace Web UI. Okay, and there is an additional component which is called environment ActiveGate. So environment ActiveGate is an additional component. So you see here, right? This is your target node, and I have installed either it could be your on-prem servers, it could be your cloud servers, it could be container, microservice application running on container Docker. You install the other, yeah, Kubernetes, right? So you install the Dynatrace agent on the target node and you send the data to Dynatrace SaaS cluster directly. You see here, directly we are sending and coming to data to Dynatrace Web UI. But when you talk about, there is an additional component which is called environment ActiveGate. When you add environment ActiveGate, this is so environment ActiveGate required dedicated server is a component, a Dynatrace additional component, which you have to set up. You need a dedicated VM to set up that environment ActiveGate. Once your VM is stabilized and created, you install the environment ActiveGate. Once your environment ActiveGate is installed, then you can able to send the data to ActiveGate via 9999 port, and then you send the data to Dynatrace SaaS cluster. So you see here, so we are sending the data to environment ActiveGate, and environment ActiveGate is sending the data to Dynatrace SaaS cluster. So what is the difference we have sending the data via environment ActiveGate and sending a data directly to Dynatrace SaaS cluster? So environment ActiveGate is needed for multiple purpose. One is consolidation and compression of one agent traffic. So what it will do, it will take the data from all the target nodes and it will accept the data from all the target node, compress it, consolidate it, compress it, and then it will send the data to SaaS clusters. It will act as a load balancer, you can say that. First thing. Second thing, it also help you when you are doing the cloud integration. When you would like to do the integration with, can you hear me?
Yes, Ravi.
Just a minute. Let me switch the internet. Give me 1 minute. Then I'll share my screen. That power came back.
This meeting is being recorded.
Just a minute. Okay. So now, where to end the slide. Just okay. So now you can see that, right? So guys, can you go for a mute? That cloud integration, right? When you are doing the integration with Dynatrace with your AWS, yeah, Dynatrace, you are doing integration with Azure, yeah, you are doing Dynatrace with Kubernetes, yeah, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, right? You require environment ActiveGate. So environment ActiveGate, you can see we have a multiple modules for that, okay? Suppose you want to consolidate and compress the traffic and doing the cloud integration, you can go with the one module. So it will mention it while doing the installation, it will mention, you select the module, it will be, why it is needed, it will mention you that. When you are doing kind of extension, plugin, DB Insight, so when you are develop some kind of extension, you develop any kind of plugin, yeah, you wanted to do the database monitoring, right? Either MS SQL, Postgres, right? Oracle, these are the database yeah, Azure, Cosmos DB, you wanted to monitor that. You required environment ActiveGate. So without environment ActiveGate, you can't monitor your database. You can't do cloud integration. That is the reason they recommended. Okay. Now, when your application running on private network, so within the network, your application is running, right? Within the subnet, your application is running. Then again, to hit the URL, right? We cannot hit the URL from the public location that Dynatrace provide. So for that, again, you have to set up an environment ActiveGate. Suppose you want to take a memory dump, right? You want to do the memory analysis when you have a memory leak. Sometimes you have, right, some of the application process consuming more memory day by day, week by week, that process. So you'll have some kind of, so application team, and I need to have a memory dump for this application from this time frame to this time frame. You take the dump and then you analyze it from the dump analyzer tools. Okay. So when you're doing that, again, so to store the dumps, because Dynatrace SaaS running on cluster is running on Dynatrace, it will not allow you to store anything. So it will give you that you need environment ActiveGate to take the dump, store it, and how many week you want to store, like 1 week. To based on that, you can mention, and then you can take the dump. That is the reason we require environment ActiveGate. Okay, so that is the reason even for mainframe application you want to monitor with the help of Dynatrace, we require environment ActiveGate. So this is the reason we require environment ActiveGate. So any questions to understand? Now there is one more component which is called mission control. Anyone heard about this mission control? Anyone?
Let me go 1 second back. I have a question on ActiveGates.
Yeah, go ahead.
So how many ActiveGates will be required if there are many servers? The hosts are like multiple.
No. So suppose out of 100 hosts, one environment ActiveGate is sufficient, depend on the network, right? So what we used to do is, we used to have maximum in the organization level 5 to 6 environment ActiveGates. Okay. Yeah, 7, yeah, 8 environment ActiveGate. Okay. Based on the environment, but it writes, suppose your application in one network. Okay. Now your environment ActiveGate is a Dynatrace component. So, and your Dynatrace is a SaaS. So you can environment ActiveGate, it is your choice. You want to have within the network, you can have environment ActiveGate, then you send the data, right? Yeah, in the private other network, you create a Dynatrace environment ActiveGate that you have set up. Again, you have to allow them, right? And then, so you need to add there in your inbound firewall, okay, I want to add a source and destination address, and then you send the data, then environment ActiveGate send the data to a SaaS cluster, right? So depend on that, maximum 4 to 5, yeah, 6 to 7, it is sufficient, not like you require many, right? So one, you have that. Okay, one definitely you need. Now again, something goes down, so again your monitoring data will lose, right? So again, you need something kind of, something goes down, then again you need to have one more so that it will serve the traffic, right? So one more is needed. So you'll have some kind of auto balance group, right? So you can have that. On top of that, sometimes other application team, they cannot access the environment ActiveGate, then you can do one more environment ActiveGate is needed. Depend on that, how you want to put that. Okay.
So Ravi, it's not based on number of host versus environment.
No. There is no. You can even you can manage with 2 environment ActiveGate also with the 500 servers. Okay. Only the load, that resource, right? Now suppose you kept 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of RAM. Example. Okay. And it is a minimal. and you install that. You are sending a data. Now you have only one application. You are sending, for me it is suffice. Now another application team also want to send the same data. So it cannot load this many requests, right? So what will your server will go to hung state, right? And then it will go to crash, it will go down. Again, your environment ActiveGate will go, service will goes down. Then what you need to do? So either you increase the resource itself for this either for entire application, yeah, you can have separate. That Dynatrace, whoever do the solutioning and designing, that person has to be decided. Is it clear? It is not depend on the host. Like it can.
Is it any sizing document provided for ActiveGate?
Yeah, we'll be showing that. Okay. So this is your environment ActiveGate. Any questions? Anyone heard about this mission control?
Yes, Ravi.
So what is the use of mission control?
It can monitor license and upgrade and health checks of Dynatrace agents, Dynatrace components.
Yeah. So there is a one component which is running on Dynatrace side. Okay. Either you are using Dynatrace Manage or Dynatrace SaaS. Okay. Which is called mission control. So earlier tools, if you talk about Appdynamics, yeah, you talk about Datadog, right? Yeah, you talk about any Elasticsearch agent. Like what happening is when you want to agent upgrade, like agent has a vulnerability, right? Yeah, some upgrade is required. Okay. Now what we are doing is we are taking their configuration backup. Then we install downloading the agent from their portal, right? And then again we are installing and putting the configuration, right? Whatever the configuration file we have, right? But in terms of Dynatrace agent upgrade, we are not doing again. You have to install the agent from the download, and then you install the agent. You take the configuration backup. Nothing is needed. What you can do is you have to select, while after installing, you have to select either you want to go with automatic upgrade or manual upgrade. Okay. Now either you go automatic or manual, doesn't make sense. Okay. What you have to do is just create a maintenance window whenever you wish to upgrade your agent, and then you upgrade the agent. Okay. So no need to install any downloader file from outside and upgrade your agent. So just mission control will push your agent has to be upgraded based on your time that you have selected, a start time and end time you have selected. This time your agent will get upgraded. That time that agent will get upgraded, service went down, that time you have a monitoring loss. Okay, like for 1 minute, 2 minutes, maximum 1 to 5 minutes we have. So we used to create a maintenance window and then used to upgrade the agent. Okay. And second thing is Dynatrace license status. License status means Dynatrace keep on checking your license status on the checking through with the help of mission control. Okay, so suppose sometime your license has been consumed 75%. So mission control will send you the notification, event notification in your Dynatrace web UI. You have consumed 75% of license for this unit, host unit, dem unit, DD unit. We have a lot of log unit, right? So we have different types of license. It will send you the notification for this. You have consumed 75%, something like that. Okay. That is the reason Dynatrace, with the help of mission control, they are doing that. Okay. Third thing is health status. So Dynatrace one agent and environment ActiveGate is a Dynatrace product.
Question here. Ravi, can you explain that mission control once again? So
yeah. So let me 1 second. Okay. So let me draw that so you can understand very well. Okay. So here we have, because we are talking about SaaS, here we have a Dynatrace server. This is your DT server, which is called DT server. Okay. One agent sitting on your target node, right? This is your server where one agent is getting installed. This is your one agent. Okay. Here we have which is called environment ActiveGate. This is your dedicated machine where you install environment ActiveGate. So I'm putting AG, sending a data to here, all the servers. okay, via 9999 port. Then ActiveGate is consolidating and compressing that and sending a data to Dynatrace server via port 443. Okay. Now this is your DT server running on Dynatrace cloud side. Now mission control is here. Mission control is here. Mission control is here, which is your on Dynatrace side, not on your customer side. So we should not take care of mission control. So mission control also connect via your DynaDT server via port 443 only. Okay. It is an internal connectivity. So when you install Dynatrace server, that time you see that mission control is also getting installed. Okay. So it take care of Dynatrace health status. Health check. Why health check means? Health check means one agent and ActiveGate is a Dynatrace baby, right? Dynatrace product. So how it is working on all the target node, right? They used to check the health status, everything working fine or not, all those things. Okay. Second thing, upgrade. So whenever Dynatrace agent new release is happening, so every 2 weeks Dynatrace new release will come. Okay. Suppose right now the latest version is 1.32. After 1 month, you will see 1.32.1, yeah, 3.2, something like that, the newer version. Now, sometimes the new feature has been introduced in Dynatrace and that does not support older version of Dynatrace 1 agent. In that case, you have to upgrade your agent, correct? Right? So now, to upgrade the agent, again, we are not going to any download page, take installer and we are installing it and we are taking the configuration backup, installing it and putting the configuration. No. What we are doing is in the Dynatrace web UI, just to click on upgrade, agent will get upgraded. Okay. So to upgrade the agent, there is a process. What we are doing is whenever you do the upgrade, right? First thing, application restart is needed. So whenever you do the application restart in the production, you can't do the application restart at any time. There is a change request. There is a lot of things, right? Time has to schedule. There is a deployment has to schedule. That time we used to do the application restart, something like that. So that is the reason we used to create a maintenance window. And during that time, we used to do the upgrade of agent, which are the host you want to do. Select the host and then you click on the select the upgrade option, and then you create a maintenance window and then you upgrade the agent. So agent will get upgraded automatically. You should not do anything. Okay, no configuration changes. Everything the Dynatrace will take care. Okay, sometimes your upgrade fails. Dynatrace restore your existing configuration. If fail, then you will restore that existing agent itself. You can see that whenever you do the upgrade. First thing. Third thing, license validation. Okay, suppose you now Dynatrace has a pay as you go model, like how the AWS, Azure, right? You go create an account and use any service, whichever you want, right? So same model Dynatrace also has pay as you go model. Now, yeah, you can go with the classic subscription, classic license subscription, like you want to procure the license based on that host you need, dem you need, DD you need. We have a different categories of license. You can purchase that. Sometimes your license consumes 75%, 85%. It will send you the event notification in Dynatrace web UI. And also you can ingest the data and fetch the data via REST API. So Dynatrace has a lot of APIs, okay, that also via 443, and you can see the data in web UI via 443 only. Okay, and you can ingest the data, fetch the data via Dynatrace REST API. So Dynatrace has lots of APIs, which has configuration API, V1 API, V2 API, where you can fetch the data. Suppose you want to install Dynatrace 1 agent on 100 host. Now your manager asks you, hey, can you send me that list of host where you have installed the agent with a different mode. Like the agent has the 3 modes. Example, one is full stack. Second one is discovery. Third one is infrastructure mode. 3 mode, right? Now your manager asks you, hey, can you send me the list of hosts where you have installed, how many hosts full stack, how many hosts discovery, how many hosts infrastructure. Now, can you go each host and check what is the agent mode? No, right? So there is the APIs. You can fetch the data, okay? For this application, yeah, host, you can go with the host API, fetch the data, list of host, okay? You can have that count of 50, 100, something like that, yeah, full host. You can fetch the data, filter by, put in Excel, filter by, within a 5 minutes, your report will get ready. If you do manually, you go to that, it will be very difficult for you, right? So anything, now suppose somebody asks you, hey, can you send me the list of problems occurred in last 7 weeks, 7 days? You can't go to the problem page and you take all the problem and their entities, everything, and you put in the Excel. You can't do that manually, right? There is a API is available. You can do via API. Okay, so there's a numerous of things you can do with the help of APIs. Also, you can ingest the data to Dynatrace using API. Ingest the data means it's the post API. Okay, you can ingest the data with the help of API. Like suppose you want to create a application, you can create via APIs. You want to configure a synthetic monitoring with the help API you can do. You want to do some configuration, okay? Like you want to create a management zone, yeah, you want to create any alert profile, yeah, you want to do any configurations changes, you want to change some threshold. With the help of API, you can do that. So Dynatrace has a numerous of list of APIs. With the APIs, you can do that. Okay, so that is the reason you can ingest the data and you can fetch the data with the help of API. And you can see the data in Dynatrace web UI, which is called also it connect via port 443. Any questions?
When license consumption, it's through the like it will send the message, right? This much consumption is used.
Yeah, in the UI you can see that.
No, what percentage they will send? Is it any specific standard like 70%, 50%, something?
75% basically it send notification, event notification. You have consumed 75% of license.
It's fixed for all the customers.
Majorly it fixed for all the customers, but now they are coming with a DPS model. Okay, pay as you go model. Okay, pay as you go. What is happening? I'll tell you why it went for pay as you go model. It started this year only. And everyone they are starting that if you want to license has to be renew, you have to go with the pay as you go model. Why? What is happening is suppose you bought license. Dynatrace has a numerous types of license, okay, which is called uh, host unit, dem unit, DD unit, log storage, security unit. There is a many types of license, okay. Now you suppose, and Dynatrace is famous, one agent can do anything, right? So basically people used to buy host unit, yeah, dem unit. After that they don't buy DD unit, they don't buy all those things, log storage, nothing. Now suppose your application team want to do some configurations. Now later on I understood that hey, for that is required DD unit license, but you don't have that. Yeah, it required a security unit license. Now you can't do that, right? Because you don't have license itself, so you can't do the setup. So it will bind you there itself, right? It will. So what they are doing is you take a pay as you go model. Whatever license you want to consume, you consume it. Based on that, I will charge. Are you getting my point? Based on that, it will get charged. That is the reason from this year onwards, January onwards, Dynatrace UI got changed, which is called new UI. So Dynatrace has a two UI. One is old UI, classic UI, and one is latest UI. Latest UI, you have to go with pay-as-you-go model. Like how that AWS, yeah, Azure, yeah, any cloud provider they are doing, right? You create account, use any service. Based on the service, I will charge them, right? So same way you have that. Dynatrace also now same way, but still people are you can go with the classic mode, but there you have some kind of, so 75%, which is majorly I have seen that in the customer, that you will get a event notification. 75%, 80% depend on that, but mostly I have seen 75%. Any questions? Yes, no. Okay. Coming to that.
But I have one question on this.
Hmm.
Will we cover agent installation upgrade as a separate
Yeah,
slide
so
somewhere in the course?
agent upgrade installation will be doing all the Dynatrace configuration as a live. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
this is the just introduction. Okay, so this is the first class. I will be explaining PPT. From tomorrow onwards, I won't explain any PPT. One slide is sufficient, and then we'll do the configuration, everything live. From taking
Okay.
a SaaS trial to Kubernetes integration till that. Okay, everything will be alive. No hidden configuration, like it is configured already. Nothing. Everything I will be doing the live.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ravi, one question. So Dynatrace server will be always with the Dynatrace team or with the client also? You said
So I'm talking about SaaS right now.
yes. Yeah.
When we'll talk about manage, you can
Okay.
able to understand that how the customer data center will be.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And this in SaaS also you have put in the diagram left hand side. You see there are so many agents, right? These are agents installed in different hosts, right?
Yeah. So this is your target node. Okay. This is your
Okay.
target node where you
Okay.
are installing Dynatrace one agent.
Okay. So
Okay.
can I consider that active environment gate as a load balancer kind of thing with more additional functionality, or comparison itself is wrong?
No, ActiveGate, you are right. But ActiveGate is on top. It also act as a load balancer. It
Uh-huh.
also help you when you need a cloud integration, like you want to integrate Dynatrace with
Okay.
AWS, right? Yeah, you
Okay.
want to integrate Dynatrace with Azure, yeah, Pivotal Cloud Foundry,
Okay.
right? Yeah, Kubernetes. It required your ActiveGate. When you do kind of database monitoring, you required environment ActiveGate. You want to set up some private synthetic location for synthetic monitoring, you require environment ActiveGate. You want to store some memory dumps, like whenever you have memory leak issue, right, in your application.
Okay.
Sometimes memories, some of the application process consuming more memory, right?
Yeah.
Consuming 600 to now
Okay.
this week 600 MB, the next week 1 GB. So it's a keep on increasing. So definitely there will be some memory leak, some of the application process method or something consuming more memory. So you want to analyze that, right? So for that we used to take a store of memory dump, right? We take a memory dump for that application process for certain time, that time 1 week of time frame, and then we see that, right, from when that graph was started like a little higher. Okay, from
Okay.
that to some duration you used to take that, you take the dump. We have a lot of analyzer tools, you can analyze the dump, and then you see that, and then you inform to the application team, hey, was this method, this database query consuming more memory, so could you please rectify it so that it will be a memory leak issue will get resolved.
Yeah.
Ravi, one quick question.
Hmm.
Um, Regarding heap dumps, end of the day, if it is a very huge heap dump,
Yeah.
sometimes people integrate with the S3 bucket or whatsoever it is, right? This
Hmm.
kind of things might get automatically uploaded to
Hmm.
any cloud storage, right? That can also get integrated, right? As part
So
of that heap.
Dynatrace provide a heap dump. You can either you are using managed or SaaS, you can take a heap dump also in Dynatrace Web UI itself. And you can
Hmm.
analyze in Web UI itself, Dynatrace Web UI itself.
Okay, but if it is a heavy, like large size of file,
So whenever you are
will it not
taking a heap,
impact? Mm,
whenever you are taking a heap dump, right? So you need to
mm,
understand that from which time frame you have to take. Okay.
mm,
So you need to understand, that is the reason for memory dump also. I told you, whenever you take a memory dump also, right? That is the reason. First you select the application, then select their
mm.
process, then take the dump. So you need to first check the graph when the dump was, memory was taking too much memory from when it was started. Suppose it started last week. So you can't take last complete 1 week data, right? You take the 1 hour of heap dump,
No,
right?
no,
Otherwise the
sorry to
storage will be very
interrupt.
high.
My assumption is there is a OOM error, out of memory error in production,
Hmm.
and then it triggers automatic heap dump.
Hmm.
Okay, in that case, if the heap dump is size is very high,
Hmm.
then Dynatrace still holds that heap dump in its storage, or
Yeah, it will
it
hold that.
cannot.
It will hold that.
Okay.
Okay. So now coming to the next slide. is happening? 1 second.
Enable editing will help you.
No, enable edit will not help. Yeah, thank you. So this is your firewall configuration. Okay. So now you know that, right? So port 443 has to be open. So sometimes when you are sending a data from your application server to Dynatrace SaaS cluster, including 443 also, you need to know, right, what is the destination URL you want to whitelist, right? So that recommendation DNS resolution should be a star means your tenant ID. So every account has a ID which is called your tenant ID, or which you call environment ID .live.dynatrace.com. And also you can add, if now it is a newer environment, you can do with the apps.dynatrace.com, start.apps.dynatrace.com. So now there is a 2 URLs. You need to whitelist that, and then you send the data via port 443. Okay, you can do that. With the ActiveGate, port 443 has to be open, and Dynatrace ActiveGate SaaS cluster service. Now there is a port IP, which are the IP you want to add. So in Dynatrace Web UI, you can get those IP, which are the IP has to be whitelisted. You can do that. Okay, and then port 9999 has to be open. Okay, Dynatrace ActiveGate requirement. So we required 64 virtual CPU, virtual, yeah, physical. Okay, virtual 64-bit virtual, yeah, physical servers, 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of RAM, and 2 GB of disk. Okay, and you need to remember that Dynatrace either a one agent, yeah, Dynatrace ActiveGate required root permission to install the agent. It cannot be installed with the sudo user. Suppose sometimes organization, if you talk about banking, yeah, finance based organization, what they you need a server, they'll provide you the server, and they will give you this directory you can install. You will have some permission for this directory, and they will create a user and they'll give it to you. Okay, not required for that. You should have a root permission, administrator privilege to install the agent. During the installation, it will create one user which is called DT user. Okay, it can be installed from Windows 7 and Linux both, and CentOS. For one agent, you have seen Windows, so you see that, right? Administration privilege required to install one agent in the host operating system. This is your starting version. So now we have 22, 25 for Windows, that also support. Okay, and for 7 GB of free space is required for one agent installation.
Ravi, can you tell me again the firewall configurations stuff again?
Guys, can you pour a mute? I'm getting a lot of echo.
Right? Yeah, that topic. Can you just repeat that one?
I'm getting a lot of echo. Okay, so firewall, right? So what is happening is now you have a target node, right? You want to install Dynatrace one agent. Now one agent has take the data and sending to your Dynatrace SaaS cluster. Okay, so now from that to SaaS cluster, even over the internet, you need a source and destination. So source you need a destination, right? So destination, you require DNS resolution, which is your star.live.dynatrace.com. You see that? You can add this. Sorry. You can add this star.live.dynatrace.com, and you can open the port 443. Okay. Yeah. Also, you can add star.apps.dynatrace.com so that you can able to do that. Okay. With ActiveGate, same thing. You can do that. And either you do 9999. So sometimes for ActiveGate, you might have seen you will see in Dynatrace Web UI some lot of because of the internet, so they will give you some list of IP that you have to whitelist. Okay, for destination. Sometimes you can take an IP. Yeah, you can find that for those IP, you can find that FQDN, fully qualified domain name, and you can whitelist those things. Is it clear? I will show you that in Dynatrace Web UI.
Sure. Thank you.
I have a question on this one where you suggested that is we need a root access to install an agent on any of the host.
Correct.
And you said that is it will create a DT user.
Hmm.
So I have three questions there. So
Hmm.
one question is, what rights DT user will have?
DT user will have just like a read, write, and HQ's permission, everything. CS mode
Okay.
777. Okay. Why? Because that is the reason once you install the one agent will do automatically everything. So when after that it will create a DT user, and DT user has all the permission, so that whenever you add any additional service or something, automatically DT user will capture and send you the data in the Dynatrace Web UI.
Okay. So I have now second question.
Hmm.
For the maintenance of this agent,
Hmm.
which what will we using? Is a DT user will be used?
Yeah. So after that, DT user will be doing everything, not your root user.
Okay, and that I assume third question is I assume that is for upgrade of the
Hmm.
agent
Hmm.
when it will be triggered from the mission control,
Hmm.
it would be DT user be used for automatic upgrade, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Now coming to the Dynatrace managed architecture. So Dynatrace managed server, right, which is called your Dynatrace server, and when you install on multiple nodes, it will become a cluster. So Dynatrace cluster would be running on your customer data center. So it would be a Linux family. You can install that Dynatrace cluster. Okay. Now, so you see here, one agent will be get installed on your target node. Now, when you terms of manage, definitely you will have your own subnet for manage, right? So one agent get installed on your target node, and you are sending a data via most of the organization, 99.100% of organization, they have to use environment ActiveGate, because environment ActiveGate, it is required for multiple purpose. So definitely you need that. So it required environment ActiveGate. So environment active send the data to environment ActiveGate, and then you can send the data to Dynatrace Web UI. Okay. There is another component which is your cluster ActiveGate. So now, when you have some kind of agentless application where you cannot install the Dynatrace one agent, like Lambda, Azure Function app, okay, Azure web app, those kind of application. Yeah, you wanted to monitor mobile application like Android, iOS, tvOS, and there is a certain open source platform which is called your Cordova, Xamarin, Flutter, React Native. These are the platform where your app can be developed. So sometimes organization, you might have seen that there is a one app, you open that, it will have a multiple apps, right? One for payroll, one for this, one for that. So those kind of platform you have, and you wanted to monitor those kind of platform and their RAM data, then you required, which is called cluster ActiveGate. So now Dynatrace Manage has a two additional component, which is called your one is environment ActiveGate and one is your cluster ActiveGate. So when you have agentless RAM application, then cluster ActiveGate is needed. Yeah, you want to monitor your mobile application RAM data, mobile applications you want to monitor, then you require cluster ActiveGate. Yeah, you have some kind of synthetic application and it is outside of network completely, then again you required cluster ActiveGate. Sometimes within the network you don't have that, right? It's outside of network, then for one agent also required cluster ActiveGate. Okay, and then environment ActiveGate is for internal. So you can send the data environment ActiveGate, and you can send the data to Dynatrace cluster. And then
It
there is
was
a
stuck, Ravi. Can you
yeah,
go back for 2 minutes?
yeah, go ahead. Okay, so now, so you can see that, right? So you can send the data. Now you can see when you install Dynatrace Managed Cluster, so you will get one portal which is called CMC portal, which is your Cluster Management Console portal. It is completely different from Dynatrace portal. So cluster management console portal, where you can do some kind of licensing, you can see, you can create some users like users group policy, you can see the audit logs, you can do some SSO integration, a lot of things, right? You want to upgrade that cluster, right? So those kind of things you can do from the CMC portal, right? So those kind of things you can do from the CMC portal. So there is a two portal in managed. One is one is CMC portal, and one is Dynatrace Web UI portal. Okay. So CMC portal, all the things that completely account related to your
Ravi,
bill.
one quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I compare to the SaaS model,
Hmm.
how the users and other things, let's say SSO and all those things, right? How it is managed in SaaS when compared to
So
this
Dynatrace,
managed?
so in Dynatrace SaaS, you have only one portal where you have all the SSO integration in the account setting. You can do that. Okay.
Okay,
In managed, you have a two portal.
two
Suppose
portal.
when you install managed server, I will show you that managed installation a screenshot. Okay, that page I do have that. So when you install Dynatrace managed, you will get a CMC portal first. From the
Mm,
CMC portal, you have to configure your Dynatrace SaaS portal URL. It will give you some URLs, okay,
mm.
like XYZ something at the rate of managed Dynatrace.com. Okay, now sometimes every organization you have seen, right? Your managed environment start with your customer name. Customer A dot manage dot Dynatrace.com, customer B dot something like that. It is, you have might have seen that, right? If you are using managed, if anyone is using managed, that might have observed that. And SaaS, start is your tenant ID, so some the 8-digit tenant ID, and then live.dynatrace.com, yeah, apps.dynatrace.com, which is your older UI and newer UI. We have a difference, but in CMC you will get, so you have to configure everything, right? So in that is the reason they have segregated, which has a two portal. One is CMC portal where you can do SSO integration, some billing stuff, then audit logs. You want to check that, like who has deleted some configuration,
Licensing?
licensing, everything from the CMC portal.
Okay.
Okay, you can do that. But in SaaS, everything from Dynatrace portal itself. Just whoever has an account owner permission, they can do everything. Who have a admin permission, admin privilege, they can do all the administration stuff. If you have a read user, you can do the UI. You can see the UI. You cannot modify. You cannot edit the data. So those kind of permission you have, that you can do that. Okay. So this is your managed cluster. So once you install Dynatrace managed server in one node, then if you want to become a cluster, then you have to install on different node, second node, third node, right? How many nodes you want to keep that. Based on that, you can, how environment you want to keep. Like I want to have a four node cluster, a 6 node cluster. Based on that, you can, architect will decide, and then you install the Dynatrace server. While doing, suppose in the one node, your installation got failed. Second attempt, you cannot retry again. You have to wait for 24 hours. Because license key that they have given you, right? During the installation, they'll give you the license key, right? So it has been consumed. So now you cannot do that. It got failed. So you have to again interact with Dynatrace sales team, and then they will release that this installation got failed. Then you have to install it. So you have to wait for 24 hours. Okay.
And this managed Ravi, package provided by Dynatrace streamer, we have ability to download itself.
No. So manage, you can't get anything. So you have to interact with Dynatrace sales team, and you have to provide the justification why you need a Dynatrace managed as a trial also. Then you have to sign some kind of contract, which is called NDA, non-disclosure agreement, lot of things.
Okay.
Once you do that, then only they'll release your Dynatrace managed license, and they will give you the complete installation steps. How you can perform the installation, like a prerequisite check, order the commands, everything, like any newer guy also can do that. That way they will give you some 10 page of PDF. Just you follow that PDF, you install that managed server.
So environment ActiveGate and cluster ActiveGate, the packages are different.
These are the Dynatrace component, right? Additional components that you have to, once your server is installed, then you'll have options to install Dynatrace cluster ActiveGate and environment ActiveGate.
No, I mean to say package are different for both of them.
Yeah, packages are different.
Yeah.
Because both are different components. You cannot run on same server. Okay.
One question on this. I can see there is a flow of data between environment ActiveGate and cluster environment ActiveGate. What could be that?
So here you can see that, right? One agent, sometimes it is on your external network, right?
Okay.
So now, not within your Dynatrace managed network. Then what you install the one agent, and you can able to send the data you cannot send the you can able to send the data to environment ActiveGate some of the scenario, and you can send environment ActiveGate to cluster ActiveGate also. And you will have an option, I want to send via cluster ActiveGate, you can do that. That is the reason I have mentioned as a dotted line.
Okay, thank you.
Some of the scenario, because you'll face multiple scenario when you have a managed, because based on the network flow. So sometimes you want to send via cluster ActiveGate, you can send that. Okay. So now you'll have a two portal, and you can ingest the data and fetch the data via API also in the managed. Okay, so that is the reason we have a cluster API, Dynatrace APIs. And there is a component which is called mission control. Mission control always run on Dynatrace side. So sometimes in the organization level also I have seen that they used to put some kind of here proxy. Okay, like you in the proxy server like HA proxy, Nginx proxy, something like that, and where you can create a lot of rules in the proxy so that you can able to correlate what kind of data that Dynatrace can see and what kind of data Dynatrace cannot see. Why? Because Dynatrace, with the help of mission control, when you are raising a support case, you might have seen that Dynatrace has a chat functionality, right? You might have seen that you say that this configuration is not working properly. He will ask you, hey, can you ping me the URL? Have you seen that? And you give the URL and they can see the configuration. They will tell you where is the problem. They cannot modify, they cannot edit even, but they can create a new query in your tenant and they can revert back to you with the help of mission control only. This is the reason they have a complete access of your Dynatrace Dynatrace server. So either a SaaS or managed, they have a complete access.
But how about data security then?
That is the reason I told you, right? Some of the customers, they used to put here proxy server. Okay. And proxy server, when you put that in the, either you put a HA proxy, Nginx proxy, something like that, right? You can create a lot of rules there with the help of port, with the help of application, with the help of host, something like that. And you create a rule so that you'll have a lot of data security. I have seen that. Like you talk about JP Morgan has a proxy server.
Okay.
Coming to your hardware specification. So Dynatrace has, when you talk about Dynatrace managed, so required a hardware to set up your Dynatrace managed server, right? So if you want to install Dynatrace server on 50 host, Dynatrace agent you want to install on 50, like 50 hosts you want to monitor basically, you required minimum specification is 4 virtual CPU, 32 GB of RAM, and this much 100 plus 50, 200 GB of disk transaction storage. Okay, so you require minimum. Then we have a small. So node type you have micro, a small, medium, large, XLR, and so on. Okay, so if you have a small, you can install maximum Dynatrace 1 agent on 300 hosts. It could be your 1 virtual CPU, 1 GB of RAM. It could be 8 virtual CPU, 16 GB RAM. It could be anything. Okay, but maximum host can be monitored 300 only. Okay, so otherwise, if you install more than that, you'll have a lot of slowness. You might have seen that anyone using Dynatrace managed, like UI is taking a lot of time to load the data. You might have feel that, right? So in managed, you'll have those kind of scenario. That is the reason they have segregated based on that. So minimum, you can go, maximum you can go 300 hosts, and which has a specification for node to install Dynatrace managed server, 8 virtual CPU and 64 GB of RAM. And this much GB of storage.
One question. When you say virtual CPU, are we asking for the dedicated CPU or it's a shared CPU?
It could be dedicated CPU. Okay. And this is your for transaction storage. So transaction storage, you have seen the 10 days, right? Sometimes in the organization, data retention, right? This is also based on the data retention. Okay. So data retention means now transaction storage, some of the data retention, you can increase that 35, because every organization, they have a policy, right? I want to store for this kind of this data for 90 days, something like that. Then definitely for this, your specification will go on. Okay. So at port your default, so that like code level, you cannot go beyond 10 days. Okay, either you are using managed or you are going with SaaS. You cannot go with SaaS, you cannot do anything, but managed you can do some customization. But however, for code level data, you have to go only for 10 days. Okay, they cannot customize for more than 10 days. So yeah, something retention for this elastic for per node, you can increase the 35 retention to 90 days. Then definitely it will go on. The storage will go on. So you have to do some kind of sizing. Okay.
Do we have any? I have a question here. Do we have
Mhm.
any formula for sizing?
Dynatrace provide sizing calculator. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, which is kind of Excel format. So you need to mention that how many hosts you have, how many applications, then what is their configuration overall. You give some ballpark figure. It will give you some kind of sizing calculator. So when you take a managed license, Dynatrace will give you the sizing calculator. That it is not available publicly in the market, but when you take procure that Dynatrace managed environment, then they'll give you interact with sales team. They will give you that Dynatrace sizing calculator, which is you can understand that license perspective, you can understand that hardware specification perspective, everything that will help you in that. They have a 2-3 tab there. Just you go and just fill the form and it will give you the data.
Ravi, do you have that file with you?
Which one?
Sizing document file. Excel.
A recent one I don't have. I have very older. This is 3-4 years ago. I have done that manual setup. But this is the latest that have a lot of license changes, lot of feature got added. Definitely it will get varied. So I'll recommend you when you are doing that, you interact with sales team. They will help you in the sizing. I tried to get from Dynatrace, but however, they could not share it. He said it is a propriety of Dynatrace, we cannot share. Because my channel also, YouTube channel also appreciated by Dynatrace. Okay, most of the people from Dynatrace also contacted me and they are saying that, hey, you are doing a very good stuff. And a lot of people are also placed in Dynatrace across the globe, either US, Spain, Switzerland, France, okay, Germany, UK. Okay, so I tried, but after doing, they are saying no, we cannot share with them. So this is your Excel, so it will go on so on. Okay. So now coming to
whatever hardware you showed, right? That is for only DT server, right? Managed, cluster managed.
Yeah, managed.
So is it any configuration for cluster in ActiveGate?
ActiveGate and all, it is available publicly. Okay, we can get that from the Dynatrace documentation page, but only for this sizing calculator, right? For this hardware, all those things. This is also available. Okay, but you need, right, based on that you fill the form and then it will give that have some sales team. They used to have that. Okay, because when I was working in Dynatrace, even I used to have that. So sometimes customer need, okay, how much you have? Okay, this one I will fill that form. It will give you the data. So that we have that.
For ActiveGate, do we have available in the portal itself?
Yeah, everything is available in the portal itself and documentation page we have.
Ravi, in that you have mentioned peak action per user, right? What does that mean?
1 second. Where peak we have
user actions per minute per node.
So now suppose you have, so when you have some user action, right? So whenever you do some kind of how many users that accessing your node, right? So suppose you have 1000 user accessing your node, right? Dynatrace cluster, right? For 8 virtual CPU, that peak action per minute 10,000 user that accessing your Dynatrace environment, something like that, right? So based on that, you can decide if you go beyond that, you have one more, so that it will get load balanced everything.
Okay. So I thought, some 1,000 actions or something like,
No.
Okay.
Now, so coming to that, new way is needed. So the solution must be driven by automation and intelligence. Okay. So Dynatrace has an AI assistance, which is called your Davis AI. So it will not go beyond the dashboard and get a proactive answers. Okay. So whenever you receive a Dynatrace any problems, okay, AI will in the problem page itself, you can able to see what is the root cause. Okay, then you go to that service, that go to that host, that go to that application. You want to analyze little more, you can do that, and then you go and how you can fix the issue. Okay, definitely Dynatrace cannot fix the issue, right? But it will help you the root cause with the help of AI. So the AI name is Davis AI. Okay, it also has a automation regen time, so continuous automation. Okay, so Dynatrace, okay, like you have complete life cycle from application release to development to production release. That continuous automation, you can do that. Continuous automation means even whenever, suppose your application go for a, now you went for a staging environment. Okay, now you want to test it, right? So now you have done the testing. So what you can do, Dynatrace Web UI itself, you can do some kind of config which is called SRE, some dashboard. Okay, you can set up that SRE workflow, something like that, and just to do that, it will say you based on that, in the background you have to do some kind of a scripting, lot of things. Okay, and then you can able to get that how many, based on that, like how the performance testing team they used to do, right? They used to generate a load of ramp up period or something like that, and you generate that and you see that, right? Like how many 4x error, how many 5x error, how many database failed request, how many client side server side request, all the information you can able to CPU 90, 95, all the percentile, everything you can get it, whatever the performance testing team that you're doing that. Also you can do some kind of self automation, self healing. Okay, self healing means like suppose something goes down. Okay, like suppose CPU, some of those applications host process consuming more CPU. So what we are doing, we are going to the target node, checking which process consuming more CPU, and then we are doing some kind of doing some command, psio eu pipe grep application process name, finding that process ID, and then checking that if required, then you can kill the process and again you start the process, right? That used to go that, right? Same thing you can integrate with Dynatrace with some kind of automation tool which is called Ansible Tower. Example, yeah, Ansible also you can integrate. We have Ansible has a self-driven, right? So Ansible event driven. Okay, so you can integrate with that. You can write a script how you can perform like magic. You write a condition, and then it will, whenever Dynatrace receive a problem, it will trigger to that one alert to that Ansible tower, and then you have a jobs. It will go and trigger the jobs. It will get resolved. It will check the status based on your script. Again, it will give you that revert back to you in Dynatrace Web UI. You can see that okay, that problem got resolved. Something like that.
Ravi, sorry to interrupt. What was that tool name? Ansible? Is it
And
Ansible script?
Ansible Tower.
Like
Ansible Tower.
configuration management tool.
Okay, so Ansible Tower, you have something kind of UI base. Okay, Ansible is just like a server, and where you do that. Ansible, with the help of Ansible, also you can do. Ansible has a event driven. Okay, that module you have to install, and when you have Ansible Tower, which is enterprise, where you can create a lot of template, and inside the template you can create a lot of jobs. So there is a lot of things you can do that.
So is that tool comes with Dynatrace, or we have
No.
to procure separately?
You have to procure it separately, because you are doing a self healing, right? So self healing, you can do that. Even you can do with Jira also. Jira also you can do that. Lot of things you can do that with the help of automations.
Okay, so you are saying that is for the Dynatrace provides those plugins which
Yeah.
can be integrated with multiple automation orchestration platform, which eventually help us in auto healing.
Yeah, correct. Even you can do that some kind of Azure DevOps or something like that. Also, you can do some integration, and you can do a lot of things. You can do that. Okay. So third thing is intelligent observability. So monitor everything and auto adapt in changes in real time. So what does it mean is, now you might have seen that, right? The threshold. Okay. So what is happening is, you set up one application, you onboarded one application in Dynatrace. Now you want to create some lot of baselining for alerting. Okay. So Dynatrace has some kind of intelligent observability, means that in the real time, so that when you onboard your Dynatrace need a 1 week of data to analyze your application. Once your application has been analyzed with the help of Dynatrace, threshold will auto adapt in the real time. Means you might have seen some of the application getting the alert some different value, some of the application getting in different value, because with the help of intelligent observability. Why? Because everything will get adapt in the real time. So all the thresholds, no need to do any changes. So the Dynatrace has a two types of threshold. One is automated baselining threshold that Dynatrace AI will take care. Second one is custom threshold. Now your wish, you want to put a custom threshold, you can put the custom threshold. Yeah, you want to put auto adapt baselining based on the real time changes in the real time, it will auto adapt by Dynatrace. So any alerts, right? We have like CPU, memory, disk, process, service, response time, failure rate, 4x error, 5x error, JavaScript error, custom it will get auto adapt. Even database response time, failure rate, traffic when it goes peak, it will go when it will go down, something like whatever, right? You can fail connect. So all the things will get auto adapt with the help of AI. Okay. So for that to adapt that changes in the real time, it require Dynatrace need 1 week of your data. So once it is get onboarded, they will analyze for 1 week and then they'll change the threshold automatically, everything. Okay. Yeah, you can go with the custom threshold.
Okay, I have two questions on this. One is, can we decide when it will learn? I mean, it's like, because it could be one possible issue is or scenario is my system doesn't have that, or it is not reaching to that, or it is not being used that much. So it is on very light on CPU and everything. And when it will start using the application being used by end user, and then it reaches to it will start using multiple sources. So if it is start from the day one and learn that data, in that case, I might be getting a false alerts and something like that. So that is one question. And second question is, when the adaptability happen, does it learn from there and then it continuously learn from behavior, or it is stopped and decide the alerts and everything on the first 7 days?
No. So it will continuous learn the behavior. Okay. How when your traffic goes peak, at which time frame to time frame, right? Because definitely every application will not have 24/7 that peak traffic, right? Definitely they have business server, non-business server, some kind of maintenance activity, right? Definitely it will. So it will adapt in the real time. That is the reason I mentioned as a real time. So even Dynatrace, that core AI they do have, so they will see that when your traffic is happening, when go beyond, at what time to what time. Again, they will check for next days. Those kind of things, they will analyze the behavior in the real time, and then based on that, it will adapt your threshold.
Okay, which that means that is it can vary in any time of lifetime of the agent or running on that box. It can rerun the adaptability and rerun the thresholds.
Yeah, not like they just when you install the agent and you minimum required 1 week of data, but it also do the changes in the real time. They keep on changing. You might have seen this week is a different. Suppose this week have your application has a lot of sales. Sales means you have you have given some lot of discount on your product. Yeah, some kind of offer you have released like 50% off, 40% off, something like that, right? So now your traffic this week is go for beyond, right? Now next week again it will go for a leisure, right? As usual. So it will automatically adapt. So when it is goes right, so you will expect that, no? Like okay, based on the load, how much it is happening, all those things. So you will keep analyzing from one. So Dynatrace AI will adapt automatically from that. Okay, not like okay this week or that week. Sometimes when you have this kind of scenario, like okay, we have just 24 hours of sales, and again do that. Let's put a custom threshold. Okay, you'll have some kind of threshold activity that you can put some custom threshold also. You can create a different, suppose CPU alerts you want to have, so not like only one alert, you can create a multiple way of alerting. You can do that custom auto adapt with the Dynatrace, that also you can do that. So which is something you want to disable, something you want to enable, that depends on that need. You can do some lot of changes in the Dynatrace web UI. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
One
Ravi,
second. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Ravi, once we install the agent, right, it will take 7 days to analyze the data AI, right?
Yeah.
So before 7 days, whether we get any alert if we enable AI?
So before that also you will get an alert, right? Not like, see, to age to auto adapt changes in the real time, minimum they need a 1 week of data. Your application should be running, and then your agent should be running, and your Dynatrace one agent should be running on your target node, and your application should be running in properly, so that they need a 1 week of data. But beyond that, suppose you install the agent, and
Yeah.
now again your application, suppose CPU goes beyond 95%, okay, you will get alert.
Okay, in the second day itself, if it is reaching 95, it will trigger the alert.
So, trigger them, because they have a threshold in the auto adapt. Also, they have a threshold, certain threshold.
But it won't wait for 7 days analysis, right?
No,
You mean
it
to
won't.
say?
It won't wait.
Okay, that is my doubt.
There is a default threshold mentioned in that also. Okay, but they need to adapt. Suppose I need. Suppose sometimes I need 90%. Okay, itself is the alert. So I need to have at least for data, right, to analyze whether I need to change it to the, because AI nothing was written by something. A script was written by someone, right? Which is on your LLM, all those things. Okay, now to analyze any, so but on top of that they have a threshold in the, that also they have a threshold, but which is a default threshold. It will, the threshold will guess vary. For that variation require a data to analyze it. Okay, now coming to that, empower your organization. So earlier you might have seen that, right? When something goes down, application team saying no, there's a database issue, database team is saying network issue. So you can do some cross team collaboration. So nowadays Dynatrace is used by all the teams, either your application team, performance testing team, operation team, database team, development team, all those things. Suppose sometime you want to understand which code is taking which method, which class, it is which method is consuming more memory or something like that, which method is causing a problem. Those kind of things development team need, database team need, which database query is taking more time to run that query, right? So they need to know all those things, right? So you can do the cross team collaboration, and you can fix the issue as soon as possible. Okay, also Dynatrace help you to business analytics. Suppose sometimes you are running a product, you are running some application, you are, and it's a go live, and you want to understand how many order have been sold today, how many money we have received, how many order has been failed, how many order has been placed, how many order has been refunded, something like that, right? Those kind of things you want to know, right, as a business perspective, so you can understand the application revenue, right? Those kind of things also you can set up with the help of Dynatrace. Okay, so all the business analytics, right, like related to your application business, with the, in terms of money perspective, that also you can do with the help of Dynatrace. Any questions? Okay, so coming to the Dynatrace platform. Okay, so Dynatrace has metrics. So observability has a 3 pillar, right, which is called metrics, traces, and logs. Okay, now, so Dynatrace platform has, which is called your one agent. It is running on your target node. Dynatrace Pure Path is a Dynatrace patent, so it will capture your end-to-end unique transaction, right? For there, all the traces will get captured, and a span will get captured, and metadata information. Dynatrace has a Smartscape topology. So with the help of a Smartscape topology, you can understand that dependency, like complete flow, like this application running required running under which service, which process, which host, which data center, under this host, top to bottom and bottom to top. You can understand on this data center how many hosts we have, on this host how many processes are running, which process are connecting with which service, right? Those kind of things, and this service connected with which application. So those kind of things you can able to know with the help of a Smartscape. Dynatrace has a Devis AI, okay, which is including AIOps operation. You can do hyperscaling, like all the clouds, all those things you can do that. In the topology, they do have that, which is called a Smartscape. They have a behavior code analysis. You can understand the metadata and network information. With the help of Dynatrace, you can ingest the data via API and with the help of OpenTelemetry also. So you can ingest the data to Dynatrace. Sometimes what happened is when you want to reduce a lot of cost on the licensing, because when you joined any of the observability teams, a little higher position, what you need to reduce a lot of cost and show more value, right? So in last month I have given a session for 5 days for JP Morgan, how you can ingest the data via OpenTelemetry with a different way. And I have explained all the Dynatrace configuration, okay? So that infrastructure monitoring, they can do with the different tools, okay? And all the application monitoring, okay, we can ingest via OpenTelemetry. So what they're doing, what their architecture is, you can infrastructure monitoring they are using, which is called your ITRS, Genius, all those things they are using, still they are using. And second thing is, with the help of OpenTelemetry, they are sending application data to your OpenTelemetry collector, and from OpenTelemetry collector, it is sending to Dynatrace also, it is sending to Prometheus also, and it is sending to Datadog also. Because they are using Datadog, they are using Dynatrace. Both the tools they are using. So every fund BU, they are different tools. So sometimes they want to use both and they want to analyze something like that. So they are doing in that way. Dynatrace has one is, can you go for a mute? Who is speaking? Dynatrace has which is called Captain CLI. So whenever you have a Kubernetes platform, okay, on the Kubernetes, you can install one more CLI which is called Captain CLI. Okay, so it was developed by Dynatrace and they are using it, so you can use that. Dynatrace support more than 500 technology. Also, you can integrate with Kubernetes, OpenShift, Cluster, AWS, Azure, GCP, Tanzu Cloud, yeah, any hybrid cloud. Okay, like your IBM, then Digital Ocean. Other than the many clouds are available, right? That also you can integrate that. Dynatrace provide infrastructure monitoring, application monitoring, security monitoring, digital experience, your RAM, your business, and cloud automation. Also, you can do the cloud automation. Lot of things you can do with the help of cloud automation.
Ravi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Ravi, like you were talking about the open telemetry, right? The
Yeah.
data ingestion. Can
Yeah.
you just repeat that? How this is like, I mean, the open telemetry, can you repeat that? You were trying to,
See, so
can you...
OpenTelemetry, okay, can you go for a mute? I think I'm getting a little noise. Okay, so OpenTelemetry, right? So why OpenTelemetry is used for wider range? Okay, OpenTelemetry, because it's a open source framework, okay, and developed by CNCF, Cloud Native Computing Foundations, okay, and you can ingest the data. So it is a tool agnostic. You understand the tool agnostic, right? That OpenTelemetry, that either you can go with the, there is a lot of mode, we have manual mode, automatic modes, okay. They have they have some kind of SDK, okay. You install the SDK, download the SDK, you run the SDK with the help with argument, application argument, and you ingest the data, okay. So now you want to ingest the data to Dynatrace, you can ingest the data. So only data will get ingested, metrics, traces, and logs. That's it. Not other than that, okay. Only you can ingest. So now infrastructure is getting monitored by different tools. Like you can take the open source, which is called your Telegraph stack, yeah, Prometheus stack, yeah, Jabix, yes, other tools, okay, yeah, Prometheus, Grafana, yeah, okay, yeah, any enterprise tools we have for infrastructure observability, that tools. Now you want to ingest APM. So now to ingest the APM, so you want to ingest in Dynatrace with the help of OpenTelemetry. So what you can do is, you download that OpenTelemetry SDK in your application server. You run the application with the help of OpenTelemetry SDK. Okay, so you need to run Java hyphen application jar with agent path, all those things, and with the help of OpenTelemetry collector also you run that. Okay, so or whatever the data you have, you can ingest the data. So there is a multiple way of ingestion. Either you ingest from application to Dynatrace directly, okay, with the help of SDK. Second way is you ingest the data. Again, you add OpenTelemetry collector. You install one more target node, one more dedicated server where you install OpenTelemetry collector, and collector will collect the data from all the application server. Okay, and then you send the data to Dynatrace server, so that OpenTelemetry collector you have a data. So where you can ingest the data to Dynatrace also, you can same data, you can ingest to Datadog also. Just what you have to do is, just you have to add one API token and your URL, your application URL, Dynatrace URL and a Datadog URL, right? So you can add in their YAML file both the URL and both the token. It will same time it will send the data to Datadog also. Same time it will send the data to Dynatrace also. Sometimes what they used to do is they take the data and send the data to here. So they used to segregate. Like suppose metrics, traces, logs. So you can have a 3 collector. Okay, metrics will send to this collector, trace will send to this collector, log will send to this collector. Metric data will send to Dynatrace, log data will send to Elasticsearch. That also you can do that. So they have a lot of things with the help of OpenTelemetry. You can do that. Beyond that, you can, because the tools agnostic. Okay, so what SDK is using based on the technology, you have taken Java SDK. Same Java SDK will use for Dynatrace also. Same Java SDK we are using for Datadog also, New Relic also, Elasticsearch also, same thing. So we have a tool agnostic, so you can use that for multiple tools. All the tools, most of the tools, it is supporting OpenTelemetry concept. Clear?
One,
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, small question, and I don't take much of your time. When you said Smartscape, right? So that can be viewed only if and only if the entire all levels of the layers of the client is ingested into the Dynatrace. Otherwise, we can't see, right?
Yeah. So suppose you install Dynatrace one agent on host. Dynatrace one agent you have installed. Okay, and one agent has a different types of mode also. We'll talk about little later. Okay, so suppose you install Dynatrace one agent as a discovery mode. Example. So now in the Smartscape, what you can see, this host belongs to which data center? That's it, right? Because process you cannot see, because you have installed Dynatrace agent as a discovery mode. If you install Dynatrace one agent as a discovery mode, you can see only CPU, memory, all those things. You cannot see process also. Then in that means you cannot see that from host to process. You can only see in data center, and you can see what are the hosts are running. That's it. If you want to see, if you install Dynatrace one agent as a infrastructure mode, you can see the process. So you can see host, data center host, and there what are the process are running over there. Okay. Now suppose you install Dynatrace one agent as a full stack mode, so application service also will get visible. So now it will show data center, host, process along with their service. Which process that flow, right? Which service belongs to which process. That directly it will show you that. Okay, so that it will show you that. Now suppose you created you enable the RAM, so that application has to be created. So application created, now it will show you the complete flow. That's how it works.
Okay, so do you see any conflict if another APM agents are installed, like of a Splunk? Can the host, these two will get any conflicts, or
No.
we can have multiple along with parallel APM tool agents, right?
Yeah, you can have that.
Okay, thank you.
And I have a question on OpenTelemetry. Say, suppose we start using OpenTelemetry instead of using one agent on few servers. So in the organization, say, suppose we have 100 servers. 100 servers. Out of 100, we use 80 servers, one agent, 20 servers OpenTelemetry. Now, these 20 servers which are using OpenTelemetry, they will miss what are the capabilities of Dynatrace which it provides for other 80 agents.
Yeah. So because OpenTelemetry only ingests your 3 data, metrics, trace, logs, right? When you install Dynatrace one agent, it capture your all the information, because one agent, when you install, it will capture your infrastructure. Okay. It will capture your application process. It will capture your service. So one agent has a capability, right? So you can, when you install Dynatrace one agent has a higher mode, which is called full stack mode, it will capture your till APM part. Okay, your infrastructure and application monitoring, performance monitoring, it will services will get monitored. Okay, but when you ingest via OpenTelemetry, what kind of data you can see? Only application service and their request, right? And their span and their database traces. You can't see infrastructure. Okay, you can't see that. APM you can see. You can't, with the help of OpenTelemetry, you cannot enable the RAM, real user monitoring. Okay, that you can't do that. Again, for that, you have to install Dynatrace one agent. Is it clear now? So there is
Yeah.
a way. So
Thank
when
you.
you ingest only APM level data, and you don't want, because your infra is getting monitored, already getting monitored by one tools, and now you want to monitor APM, but that tool is not that much sufficient to monitor the application, because you want to do a lot of code level changes, something like that, because you want to understand the application should be more reliable. That time we used to go suggest, hey, now your infrastructure is already getting monitored by different tools, and which is completely monitored, then your application we can monitor with the help of OpenTelemetry. Now again, Dynatrace does not have a log license. Example. So now you can ingest only metrics traces. Okay, but with the help of collector, you can send the data to till collector. All the data with the help of OpenTelemetry collector, you send the data to till collector, and collector will collect the data. Okay, metrics traces will send you Dynatrace, and log you can send to Elasticsearch. Suppose you are using for log for Elasticsearch, yeah, you using for other tools, gray logs, yeah, something like that. Yeah, open source like Promptel, Grafana Promptel agent. You have all those things, right? So that also you can do that. You can do that. There's a multiple way of you can do that. Ingest the data.
Okay.
Because
And
OpenTelemetry collector, metrics you can put one collector, trace you can put on one collector server, and logs you can put on one collector server. Something like that also
okay.
you can do.
Okay. The previous slide where you mentioned about AI and your automation, automated healing, and then intelligence. So are these also available for if the data being ingested by OpenTelemetry?
Yeah. So if data is getting ingested by OpenTelemetry in Dynatrace, okay,
Yeah.
then definitely it cannot go beyond that, right? Because to deal with that, okay, your intelligent observability, to deal with that, agent has to be run. Okay, so now whatever the traces, and you can get the data. So when you ingest the data with the help of OpenTelemetry collector, OpenTelemetry stack, when you ingest the data, you will have some kind of limitation, because you have ingested not via one agent, you have ingested via open source, different way. But
Okay.
you will get the data, you can create a custom alerts, a lot of things you can do that.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Ravi, I have a question. Currently, if suppose think like I have instrumented the APM with the full stack of one agent, okay, monitoring the APM infra and all those things. Tomorrow, if I want to do it with the open telemetry, okay, so on the server I install the collector, okay. Do I need to uninstall this one agent, or it can run in parallel as well?
It run with the parallel also. Okay, one agent also, with the help of one agent also you can do, with the help with one agent also, there you can do that. There is a multiple way you can do that. Okay, so not like only because one agent, because when you do only APM part, okay, so with the help of one agent also you can ingest. Okay, so one agent also running, and your OpenTelemetry with the help of also you can ingest the data. There is no way. There
Okay,
is not
so
like you need to uninstall the agent and then only you can do that. No, you can do that.
okay, so on the target server, I can install the collector as well as the one agent both.
Collector require dedicated server. See, so there is a two component on the OpenTelemetry side. One is OpenTelemetry SDK, software development kit, which is based on the technology Java, C, C++, Elixir, Ruby, Rust, Node.js, something like that. We have based on the technology. You install that, download that SDK. Okay, and there is the OpenTelemetry collector is a dedicated component. So OpenTelemetry collector, why it is used? Because now again, just to think like it will act as a what we have environment ActiveGate. Just for example, in Dynatrace we are taking the data from all the target node and putting on server, right? Putting on environment ActiveGate, and then environment ActiveGate is sending a data. Same way, you collecting from all the target node, application node, you collecting the data from metrics, traces, and logs. You send to OpenTelemetry collector. Then OpenTelemetry collector send the data to whichever the platform you want. Okay, you want to send Dynatrace, you send the data Dynatrace. Okay, something like that. So OpenTelemetry collector is a one more component. Is it clear?
Yeah.
For demo purpose, you can install in both in the same server. Just is a matter of protocol and port. It send the data, but in the enterprise, definitely you have a dedicated server. You should have a dedicated server. Okay. So coming to this software intelligence. So in coming to when you have infrastructure monitoring, okay. So you can monitor your infrastructure with the container, serverless, pod, network, everything, fault domain isolation, and hybrid cloud observability. You can do that. When you have application service, so you can have front-end and back-end application availability performance, automatic code level, root cause and profiling, CPU profiling that we have thread dump, all those things, you can do that. And also you can do hybrid cloud distributed tracking, you can do that. In the security, we have which is called your DevSecOps, right? So you can have, so in DevSecOps, we have two. One is vulnerability analytics, and you have something called vulnerability analytics with runtime protection, right? Suppose your Elasticsearch became a vulnerable, okay? Now you are using Elasticsearch 7.2 or 7.3, and which is your working environment. Now it became a vulnerable. So it will get detected. Also, it will protect your Elasticsearch component to not get it down, something like that. Okay, so that also we have something called runtime protection. So that also you can do. That is the reason we have mentioned impact analysis and runtime vulnerability detection. So also you can do vulnerability detection. Also, based on the license, you can have a protection. Also, you can enable. Okay, in the digital experience, we have something called visual session replay. Means each user, when you enable real user monitoring, right, which are the application required rum means user side information. User side information you want to capture, like you want to understand from which continent people are accessing my application, what are the products they are willing to buy, is there any facing any difficulty. So you want to do some kind of waterfall analysis, is there any page is loading properly, okay, people are getting certified within the time frame that applications are loading, all those things, right? So it will capture as a video mode when you enable visual session replay. So they have a two mode, okay, one is timeline mode and one is session replay mode. So when you enable as a replay, means each user, it will capture as a video, as a their like complete that transaction they have done, it will capture as a video mode, and you can able to see in Dynatrace web UI this user, their user ID is this. When you add enable as a user tag, you can see their users ID, their tag, then you can go inside that and you can see which page he loaded, how much time it took, and what are the transactions they have done. Okay, those kind of things you can able to uh, do when you enable the visual session replay. Okay, then feature adoption analysis you can do, and it also detect for mobile, web browser, and API. So either not like a session replay can enable only for web app, it also enable for mobile app also. Because nowadays mobile app is only more famous, right? Suppose you want to do some payment, to do say sending someone, you are doing with the phone pay, mobile pay, yeah, any of the apps you are using. Not you are using any kind of web app and you are doing that. Okay, so that is the reason you can enable session replay for a mobile app user also, and any APIs and API users. You have some kind of business analytics. So something called business biz DevOps integration automation, that also you can do. Some kind of business event also you can ingest in Dynatrace, and you can do some kind of you can create some kind of open pipeline and you can ingest the data. You can lot of things you can parse, and then you can ingest the data, that also you can do that. Impact and conversion also you can do, and real-time business insight also you can see that. And it is used for DevOps SRE lifecycle. We have some kind of quality gate, service level delivery, that you can do that. Closed loop remediation also you can do that. Dynatrace has which is called API, custom solution, and ecosystem integration. So you can ecosystem integration means sometimes what are the integrations Dynatrace has, you can do that. On top of that, you can develop your own plugin, you can create your own app, but it has to be approved by Dynatrace. You can do that. That also you can do that. And Dynatrace has a hub, okay, which is like a Play Store where all the plugin right? Which is available, not like go to document page and do. You go to hub, find what you want to do, you can do the integration. Just to select that and do from there, you can, whatever the prerequisites required, you can see that, read that and do the integration. So it's just like how your mobile app you are using, same way we have, which is when you create an account, we have some kind of default app, and then you have a Play Store. So Play Store is nothing but just like a hub, and then you have a default app. So it will be auto installed.
Ravi, what is that API programmability? Is that something it will help us, or we need to write a
No,
Python?
Dynatrace has a lot of API, okay, where you can fetch the data, ingest the data with the help of API.
Okay, thanks.
So now you see, this is called, you see, go beyond dashboard and get proactive answers. So Dynatrace has a AI-driven answers are helping the business to remediate the problem quicker. Meanwhile, we are able to spend more time. Okay, so Dynatrace continuously observe, learn to auto-adapt changes in the real time. You see, automated problem detection, precise root cause explain. You see that, right? What is the business impact? What is the root cause? Everything, and their resolution path also. Then how it would be. Okay, it become a stable. So you can see that, right? And what is that thing as? So the root cause also it is mentioning, and you can do that. Causation, not correlation. Okay, no alert storm trigger a self-healing also, you can do that. So whenever something goes down, okay, what kind of action has to be taken manually, right? Sometimes I have seen most of the organization, which are the basic alerts, right? Basic alert means CPU, memory, application down, like sometimes applications down, sometimes service goes down, yeah, a lot of things, right? That you used to get every day, right? Most of the application, right? We used to do self-healing with the help of Ansible tower, yeah, with the help of event-driven Ansible, that with the help of you can do that, so that you will have a lot of things, a lot of like a daily basis, right? Which used to get the alert, those kind of things we can automate that, which is called trigger self-healing, because the writing a script is not that much difficult for that. But when you go beyond that, on the application level, all those things, you have to lot of things. You have to do the customization, you have to write the code. Once that code is getting done, after that you have to integrate Dynatrace with Ansible tower, and then that job has to be triggered. That's it.
Quick question, Ravi. This intelligence comes with the default license, or this should be procured separately? Because
No. It
mm,
is comes with default license.
default, huh? And if it comes under, I cannot see the snapshot clearly. It comes under problems and which option that we need to check for this?
Which one?
No, the screenshot that is there, right? For the device AI.
One second. Let me go to my. Now you can see my screen properly.
It's blank.
It is not seeing now.
Now, yeah.
Now we can. Oh, okay.
Now it is fine.
No, it's still in the presentation mode. Maybe if you switch the screen.
We are able to see the screen which you are presenting with better visualization.
Earlier it was better.
Earlier was not good. Now it is better. I think you have zoomed out a little bit more, so we are able to see that.
Okay, I went to that extended monitor now. So now you can see that in the proper way.
Both are same only. I don't.
Both are same only, but now we can at least see that options, problems, and then it detects some problems, right? So in the left-hand side pane menu, you will have some heading called as problems, right? So under that, if you have a default license, then it should pick up whatever the applications.
So see a problem, right? See problem when you purchase the license, suppose you purchase the hostnet license, example, okay, then it will not help you to remediate the problem on your application level, right? Example, you understand that when you purchase a license only for a host unit and dem unit, then it will help you in that. Okay, now it will not help you on the log level. So you have not procured the log level license. Now suppose your applications become vulnerable. So for that, you need to enable that feature, right, which is called security unit, right? Once you enable that, then only it will help you to detect which application becomes vulnerable and how it can be remediated, and what is the and it can you want to enable as a protection also sometimes. Then you can enable that, right? So nothing. Dynatrace running AI is running on the core level. Okay, either what type of license, based on that it will give you the correlation and root cause, right, based on the problems. Suppose you have only host unit, you are monitoring only infrastructure. On the infrastructure level, whatever the root cause required, it will help you in that. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so coming to the next slide. Okay, so you see, right, so this is your Smartscape topology. So Dynatrace is the answer setting platform with the AI at the core, which gives you the precise root cause, anomaly detection, and business impact without the need of manually review the chart, right? So you can see, right, data center, which host, which process, which application, which service, right? And it will give you the trace logs, everything from that, and you can understand that. And you can able to analyze dependency, you can analyze which service, which process, all the things you can analyze. Connectivity, you can understand. Something goes broken, right, from here to here, it is not working. So means it will get broken, yeah, something like that. You can under, there is no transaction happening from this tool, there is line will get you see that dotted line, means from here to here there is no transaction is happening, means in the last 24 hours. After 72 hours it will become a independent. So something goes down, yeah, there is no traffic. It could be both the scenario. Okay,
The
so it will
images
help
are
you. Can
pretty.
you go for a mute? It will help you for that to understand. This is your smart script topology. So sometimes why a smart script topology is more famous, because sometimes some of them join your organization very recently. They are not familiar with your application. So now sometimes your application, right, your application component, it is running as a service. It is running as a script. Like you have a .sh script where your application get started. Yeah, you have systemctl status, some application dot service, yeah, start application dot service, yeah, starter. Sometimes you have some kind of no hub command with the ps-ef pipe script that we are starting, right? So we have a no hub command to the start your application, that you start the application with the help of no hub command, right? That application jar file, all those things, java-jar application dot jar, whatever things you want to running, right, with the help of no hub command. So they don't know, right? Now you said, hey, can you restart this application? Now they will go, they will check that makes is a different name. They're not checking with the correct name, they're checking the different name. So they need to run a lot of commands to check the validate that. Yeah, they do not which host, all those things. So to understand the dependency, where they should go, they can go with that. Go to Dynatrace, find that application, yeah, find that service, and just that go. We can go with the smart script topology. So that can for this service, we need to stop this process running on this host under this data center. So they can understand. So I need to log in this host and then I can do that. So it will be very easier when you have a smart script topology, because Dynatrace has a very robust data, because you can have a lot of things like unconnected, inactive, whichever things are not connected, yeah, inactive. So you'll have only live, lot of things you can do the filter. Okay, when you talk about Datadog also one of the big competitor of Dynatrace. One of the big. Okay, 1 second, I'm getting call. Give me 1 minute.
I think Ravi, you're on mute.
You're on mute, yeah.
Sorry, I was on mute, speaking on mute. So any questions on the last slide? I was talking about one of the biggest competitor of Dynatrace. So Datadog, which is Datadog. So are you aware of anyone Datadog?
Yeah, it is. It's also one of the APM tools.
Yeah, one of the
Dynatrace,
observability tools which has all the feature whatever has Dynatrace. Okay, you can say beyond that. Okay, but the problem here in Datadog, the configuration is not that much easy. Okay, because suppose you want to enable APM. Okay, your application running as a Docker image. Okay, now you want to enable APM. So now tell me, if you have worked on Appdynamics, you worked on any New Relic, what is the process? Anyone? Anyone? Can you tell me?
So we will install the agents. For example, in Appdynamics has its own agent. Wherever we need to, scrape the metrics, for example, from Kafka, from database. So
So suppose you
this
have,
particular agents
okay,
needs to be
example,
installed.
use case here is you have one application server where it is running Docker application running as a Docker image. So you have Docker image, okay, and you starting the Docker, you are running a Docker image, okay. Now you tell me I want to enable APM monitoring in Appdynamics. What is the process? No idea. So first thing, you might have seen that, right? The Appdynamics has an app agent, right? So what you have to do is you have to go inside the Docker file and you add the app agent component, correct? Yes or no? When you want to enable APM, then again you build the image, right? And then you run the image, right? Same way in Datadog also, you have to, when you enable the APM, APM is running as a Docker image, yeah, Docker compose. What we are doing is, so every service there has its own Docker file. So there we have multiple way in Docker Compose. Yeah, if it is running as a one application as a Docker image, so there is a Docker file. You add their Datadog agent, app agent in their Docker file. Again, you build the image, then you run the image, right? Then you can able to see their data in Datadog. But Dynatrace, just to install the agent, that's it. APM is also getting monitored, right? So configuration is more tricky in Datadog. Okay, like suppose you're log monitoring, one agent is sufficient to enable the log monitoring. In Datadog, again you go to the YAML file, enable that log, then you add lot of path. If you want to do some parsing, then you add some parsing rules. Lot of things you need to do in Datadog.
Yeah, mainly it is, sorry to interrupt, mainly it is script friendly and configuration friendly in Datadog. I've worked on Datadog, but not on the APM level. As a performance engineer, I've worked, but what I've seen is mostly as you explain the use case, right? On the Docker images itself, we enable some flags. And then I was not able to trace how exactly they have implemented Datadog. So I can actually relate to what you said.
Yeah, so
It was
what is
very
happening is, suppose
confusing.
in one agent, suppose your application running on using monitored by one Dynatrace, just to install the agent, that's it. Either it is running on application image, Docker image, yeah, monolith application, Java jar file. Just to install the agent, that's it. For container also, same thing. APM will get monitored till APM. Just you have to change the mode, okay, to whatever the agent mode you have. Okay, when you have a Datadog, to now suppose you want to monitor infra, you have a Datadog agent you install on the server. In AppD, you have a machine agent you install on that server. Then your app application monitoring, what you have to do is you need to download the app agent based on the technology. You have a Java, .NET, Node.js, lot of things, right? You download that app agent, you run it, download it on your target node. Then you have so your application running, if it is running as a Java jar file application.jar file, then you have to either it is running as a service file, then you have to go to their service file and do the changes, add that component, then you start the application. When you have Docker image, then you go to the Docker file, add the Datadog agent component, app agent component in that file, then you build the image, then you run the image, because there's a lot of dependency. right? But in terms of Dynatrace, just you install the agent and forget. So a lot of complexity we have on other tools, but Dynatrace you will see more automated way. Like just you install the agent, everything will taken care by Dynatrace one agent. That is the reason Datadog reach on the higher level. I think more than 30,000 organizations used by Dynatrace across the globe.
After Dynatrace, which tool they are using mostly now?
After Dynatrace, if it is a SaaS, okay, which is a Datadog, okay, then you might have heard about the one more tool, Appdynamics, now coming with a new tool which is called Splunk Observability Cloud. You might have heard about this.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the tools like Dynatrace, Datadog, Neuralink, Splunk Observability Cloud. These are the 4 tools majorly used in the market. Okay, now there is a one more tool is called Honeycomb. Anyone heard about this Honeycomb?
No.
Neuralink also is, I guess.
One Neuralink, all are quadrant 1, magic quadrant. We have something called Dynatrace magic quadrant that which is produced by Gartner. Okay.
Gartner, yeah.
So Gartner published that tools based on that quarter by quarter changing. But however, these are the tools like a Dynatrace, Datadog, Neuralink, Splunk Observability Cloud, and Honeycomb.
Honeycomb, I know her. Sorry to interrupt. So, meaning I've been trying to follow Honeycomb for almost since they started, but never got a chance to work on that. But I think Honeycomb is the one product that came into picture with strong observability features, right? So,
yeah.
But I think it is expensive because I've never seen that tool in bigger organizations. Maybe it is meant for someone else. I don't know, but I've gone through their blogs, read everything, but I've not seen that tool used anywhere.
I have not got a chance to work on Honeycomb, but I have seen my lot of friends they are working on that.
Okay, good.
In India itself. Okay. So Dynatrace has something called visual resolution path in problem. So you can able to understand across the metrics, logs, traces, okay, how it is happening, all those things. What is the business impact? What are how many services are affected? And then you can go deeper level. You can analyze till the code level data. Okay, how everything is related to your complex dynamic environment. These are the dashboard we have. Okay, so this is the dashboard where you can create that infrastructure dashboard, application dashboard, all those things. Okay, like you can create that, right? So you can have some kind of host, health, disk uses, memory uses, CPU uses, process, and then you can do some kind of cost optimization like ascending or descending, which of the host is not used by more not used by much. You can, and infrastructure you want to reduce that, you can create that cost optimization dashboard. This is your dedicated page for all the clouds. So we have AWS, we have dedicated for AWS, we are dedicated for Pivotal Cloud Foundry, they have dedicated for Azure, they have dedicated for VMware. Okay, so you have multiple integration that you can do that. Okay, so where you can understand that how many EC2 servers are running, how many, based on that what service you have added, right? Because here we have default service. On top of that, you can add a lot of custom service that you can do that. And you can do that. Same way goes to Azure also, same way goes to Pivotal Cloud Foundry also, and VMware also. We have dedicated page for Docker and Kubernetes. So we have for container page, we have Kubernetes page integration where you can understand that Kubernetes level information, and you can understand that you can do some, even you can install Dynatrace one agent as a container also. Azure when your application is running as a Docker container, you can install either directly as a process also, one agent directly you can install, and your wish you can install as a container, that also you can do that. But it will capture in the Docker page. When you install one agent directly, when you're installing on the VM, same mode you are installing, same way you are installing on the container server also, it will capture container information. You can see in the container page also that image, everything, service, all those things.
So Ravi, quick question: this dedicated page how is this related to the licenses? Because I'm using Dynatrace now, And we
So it
also
is
have
not
Kubernetes.
related to license, okay? Because when you install, suppose some of the suppose we have Kubernetes has a different KPI. Example, Kubernetes server, Kubernetes cluster has a different way, right? Host, if you go, we have something called host, server, host. Then the inside you can see the CPU, memory, disk, process, all those things, right? Then incoming traffic, outgoing traffic, all those things that you can see that. When you term of container, you can see Docker containers, you can see Docker image, then you can see their services, right? Containers, right? Running container, container in exited state, all those things you can see that. If you go to the content cluster level, what you can see, cluster utilization on the core level. You can see how many namespace we have, how many workload we have, how many desired pod we have, how many running pod we have, how many jobs are running, right? How many all those things, workload we have, all the information that you can see, deployments we have, whatever things information that you can see, right? That is a completely different, right? So we have dedicated page for that. Suppose
Okay.
you want to go like Kubernetes cluster, you go to the Kubernetes page itself, then you will see list of cluster. We have AWS cluster, EKS, AKS, GKE, few
So
other clusters, OpenShift clusters.
Datadog also has similar kind of thing where you will have a dedicated dashboards related to Kubernetes, Docker, workload separately. Everything was separate, was much easier. But here, I mean, for Dynatrace, where I'm using right now, I see only two things. One is workloads and host. That's it. Rest everything. I mean, like if you go to host and workloads, you will see pods, containers, and all those things are there. But does not have a dedicated page. I was actually looking for it, but I couldn't find one.
For a dedicated page, right? I told you, right? For dedicated page, when you will see that, because you can see that when you install Dynatrace one agent, right, on the cluster, you can see the dedicated page. I need to check why you are not able to see. Okay, we need to understand that. Okay, so you can able to see that because when you install Dynatrace one agent on the cluster itself, okay, without a cloud integration, I'm talking about. Okay, without cloud integration, if you do, still you can see the dedicated page. You can search that in the app Kubernetes. You can able to see that Kubernetes page because when you have worker node will be sit on the host itself, right? Whatever the worker node you have, either we have minimum 2, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever the worker node you have, you can see in the host page itself, right? And then you can see inside that all the things running, right? But we have the Kubernetes page where you can see all the details inside that, like namespace, deployment,
I was
pod.
looking for that one. So in the search bar, I just search for, I usually search for only workloads and then Kubernetes, but never got this Kubernetes page. But let me recheck again. If I
You
don't
can
find
recheck
it,
that.
I'll come back again tomorrow.
Okay, so it is very simple and automatic. Okay, so suppose you want to implement, okay, Dynatrace 10 application example, 10 application running on 500 servers example. How many days you need to implement? Any idea? Any idea?
Can you repeat once? Can you repeat?
Suppose you want to implement 10 application, okay, onboard 10 application in Dynatrace, okay, which has all the features, your infrastructure monitoring, application monitoring, real user monitoring, synthetic, okay, and then log monitoring, all those things. And same 10 applications are running on 500 servers, and you want to implement with the help of Datadog. So do you have any idea how much time it will take? When you are onboarding with the Dynatrace, how much time it will take? When you are onboarding with the help of Datadog, how much time it will take? It will take? Any idea?
Datadog will be more, I believe, because we need to do the configuration changes in the application level as well. Because I think around a month time for 400 servers, whereas in Dynatrace, I think only one agent we need to install. That will be very quicker than anything.
So when you have onboard support 10 applications, okay, with the help of Dynatrace, you can implement all the features which is running your 10 applications has 500 servers, okay, and all the features, you can maximum you can implement in 2 months, 2.5 months with the help of 2 resource. Datadog, with the help of 2 resource for 10 application on the 500 server, all the features has to be implemented and in the proper way and in productions, it required 6 months to 1 year with the help of 2 resource. When you increase the resource, definitely you can able to implement in 2 months or 3 months, something like that. But with the help of 2 resource, Datadog, we can implement 60 days max. Okay, but Dynatrace 60 days max. But Datadog, it may require 8 months to 1 year. So there's a huge differentiation, okay, with the help of Dynatrace and with the help of different tools like a Datadog, yeah, Neural Lake, yeah, Appdynamics, yeah, a Splunk Observability Cloud, because the way they have done the agent packaging for one agent, it is completely different from the other tools. Okay.
One question. If suppose Datadog is really taking that much of time, then how come it overcome the Splunk? I think Splunk is far better than in that case. I have
See,
been
Datadog also giving you the lot of information. Okay.
Mhm.
Now everything depend on the cost. Okay.
Maybe cost is the main reason.
Suppose a Datadog costing you, where it is costing you $50, Dynatrace is costing you $500. 1:10 ratio.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you've been to say Datadog is very cheaper than Dynatrace.
And yeah, because if you want to comparison Honda City versus BMW, definitely Honda City would be cheaper, right?
Correct.
But if you see on the majorly level, Honda City is widely used compared to BMW, right? But on the luxury side, Dynatrace has been used. So you might have seen that which company, yeah, which product, yeah, which organization they are using Dynatrace, because they are more dealing with their business models and their application. There's a more revenue-based application. All those things. That is the reason widely used by Dynatrace.
Yes. I think the Smartscape. I found the difference between Splunk ITSA and the way you explained. I haven't done in Dynatrace, but with the explanation, I would relatively compare both. It looks like Dynatrace is easier related to the Smartscape. If I'm
Because
compared.
Datadog doesn't have a Smartscape, first thing. Second thing is a lot of features that Dynatrace has, right? Now, suppose you want to implement 500 application with the help of Dynatrace, and you required max 5 to 10 resource. But when you have a Datadog, you may require 20, 25 resource, 30 resource. You need to see the timeline also, and you need to reach that destination, right? And also you want to do a lot of things. So to do the application, the Datadog should be fully implemented in the proper way. It required many years, 3 years, 5 years, something like that, right? Now Dynatrace does not require that much. Lot of complexity, right? Like an agent upgrade. We have automatic upgrade. Directly you can do it from the UI. In Datadog, again, you have to do the manual process, download the agent, again, you do a lot of stuff, do the configuration backup, all those things. Same thing, remediation, root cause, right? Datadog doesn't have those kind of AI model, right? Dynatrace has an AI, so you can resolve your problems, okay, in the quicker way. But with the help of Datadog, you cannot do that, right? Business impact, you can understand because you have the business analysis, that dashboard, all those things, you can do that, right? Discovery mapping, all those things, deployment also. Even Dynatrace configurations also, whatever the Dynatrace configuration we are doing, right? Like application configuration, if you might have heard about the management zone, alert profile, network zone, synthetic, web application, lot of things, right? Rules we are creating, yeah, enabling, disabling any process, yeah, any threshold you are doing alteration, everything you can do automated way, like either a Terraform, yeah, Monaco. So Dynatrace is tightly coupled with Terraform and Monaco. Okay, so Monaco, just like how we have a Git, right? Git add, Git commit, all those things. Same way we have a Monaco. Monaco has a configuration file. You can do that, and then you can go via Git, all those things. And we have some kind of, you might have heard, infrastructure automation tools, which is called Terraform. Dynatrace has a Terraform provider. We have that. provider for Dynatrace, the Terraform page itself, you might have seen that Dynatrace provided. You can use that. You can use all the modules, use that models, modify your all the JSON in the proper way, and then just you apply that Terraform init, Terraform plant, Terraform validate, apply. Again, you do the changes. You do the changes in the JSON. Again, you init, plan, validate, and apply. So no need to log into Dynatrace portal itself, right? With the help of you can do the automation. So a lot of things you can do that. And most of the organization now doing any kind of alteration, no need to go with every time Dynatrace web UI and do that. You can go via Terraform. So people are going in that way now. Even in the cloud observability, right? So you can monitor most of the cloud services with the help of Dynatrace. We have all the cloud services. Dynatrace has for AWS, Azure, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, GCP, IBM, Tanzu Cloud. Everything we do have OpenShift cluster, so you can do that. And you can have dedicated page itself, and you can have additional service you want to monitor. Suppose anything you want to customize, you can develop your own plugin. You can do that. You can ingest the data in the multiple way. That also you can do that. Even you can visualize your Dynatrace with the Grafana. They have a plugin available. You can visualize the data in Grafana. So all the way your road is open. Just you should have money in the pocket, and you can visualize your data in the multiple way. Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah. You're telling that upgrades are automatic in a SaaS model, but not in manager systems, right?
Manage also you can do that, right?
Oh, it's automatic. Okay, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Because manage also that mission control running on Dynatrace.
Okay, it is automatic. Upgrades also automatic in managed system also.
Even manage cluster. Suppose you are using Appdynamics as a managed. Okay, somebody has worked on Appdynamics. To manage that Appdynamics, we have a controller. Okay, you want to upgrade. There's a lot of manual way, right? We have it integrated with database, and then you need to take a backup, all those things, right? Dynatrace for managed cluster upgrade. Dynatrace provide one is automatic way. Your managed server upgrade I'm talking about. So they have a two script. Okay, when you upgrade your managed cluster, one is some restore.sh, and one is upgrade.sh. We have a two script, okay, backup.sh, and one we have restore.sh. And in Dynatrace CMC portal, you can see upgrade option. You can have all the way. You can take a backup. Okay, so when you do the backup, so there is a script is available. Just to run the script with just changing the destination where you want to take the backup, configuration backup, and you go every node you can do that. A second way is you go with the automatic upgrade in the Dynatrace CMC portal itself.
Okay, thanks.
So
yeah, Ravi,
go ahead.
Yeah, Ravi, coming to the migration part from the Dynatrace to New Relic, how it is there any difficulties we face in the Dynatrace while migrating to New Relic? So can you explain? Yeah.
So suppose you want to migrate Dynatrace with the New Relic, you have to go phase by phase. Okay. So New Relic, you understand that they have only SaaS model. They don't have managed model. So your New Relic account should be ready, all those things. And then because your application also getting monitored by Dynatrace, same time your application also will get monitored with the help of New Relic also. Their one agent also running, your New Relic agent is also running. There is no harm. Okay. Okay. And then once your complete onboarding is done in your New Relic side, because you don't want to stop the one agent in one shot and then you onboard because to onboard in your New Relic required effort and you require a time. Correct.
Yeah.
So once your infrastructure configuration is done, okay, then first thing you need to check that. And second thing is you should not directly when your 50% implementation is done in your New Relic, then you directly sending alert. Once your everything is set up in your New Relic, then you stop the one agent. Okay, then you delete the configuration, whatever things you have in Dynatrace Web UI. Once you stop the agent, sufficient. Some of things additional service that you are doing some kind of other than that, then you disable all those things in the properly, which is called in Dynatrace, which is called concept of management zone. Management zone created based on the application by application. So you remove the management zone and then remove their data. Okay, so you stop the agent, then uninstall the agent, and then you, whatever the service you have automatically will get disabled, and you monitor the disabling, all those things that you need to do that. That's how you need to do the migration. Then because I have done the migration from Datadog to Dynatrace. For one application, it's taking 3 months to 4 months. The problem here is configuration migration is very not that much difficult. Only the problem here is the way we have data in dashboard in their Datadog. Dynatrace, you need to same kind of data to bring it in Dynatrace require a lot of efforts. Lot of DQL query. You might have heard about this grel, all those things. Okay, that when you have a log monitoring that we'll discuss about. Okay, we need to write a lot of query, all those things, and that require a lot of efforts to do the dashboard migration. Because you understand that, right? Their KPI is completely different. Here is KPI, and you cannot match 100% 1-to-1 ratio. You cannot do that, right? You can match. You have to get those data in different way in Dynatrace, right? Yeah, if you are doing Dynatrace to Datadog, you can get different data, right? So you have to do parallel all those things getting synced. It takes time. So one application may require 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, something like that, depending on the complexity. What are the features you have enabled? So that's how it is going to migrate.
Yeah, in Dynatrace only the one agent is managing, and where the Neuralink is a different agent for different applications.
We have agent, then we have app agent. The problem here is end user monitoring. So you have a JS file, you need to put in the application HTML, then you need to build that application. Like if you have a jar, then you have Maven Java, then you need to run the Maven package. Then you are, once you done that, then if you're running as a Docker file, then you have a Docker file, then put that jar in the Docker file, then you build the Docker image, then you build that Docker image has been built, then you start your application, then you check that whether data is coming or not. So you have to do a lot of setup. So first you have to do in the dev, then you have to do the staging, then they will do some testing. Then production, it will take time. Why? Because a lot of things you have to do that. So application has to be go down. So it required a lot of efforts. So 4 hours, 5 hours, that maintenance window has to be created. So change request has to be approved. So it required a lot of efforts when you are doing the migration from Dynatrace to Datadog. But Dynatrace is completely automatic. They have an automatic injection in your application itself. That code data also will get injected in your application with the help of one agent. Now you think that we have end user monitoring, right? You have some kind of JS script, a snippet for JavaScript, right? Now we are injecting into their front end application, that HTML page. Now to injecting that, we have automatic injection. The Dynatrace one agent itself, they'll do the automatic injection in your application code. Okay, and just you, and then you do that. There is no restart is also needed. There you have to build the application, put the JS file in the application code, then you run that /maven package, clean package, and then you run the package. Then your jar file will get created. Then you do the Docker file, put in the Docker file, and then you build the image, then you run the image. Right? Then you have Docker file, then you have a Docker compose, then you can Docker compose. Then same if you have a microservice application, right? So a lot of things is required. Effort is required on the Datadog side and New Relic side, yeah, Appdynamics side, yeah, Splunk observability cloud side. But Dynatrace side, it is like just you go install the agent and you create application, and we have automatic injection. If your automatic injection is disabled, then you have to go with a manual setup.
Ravi, sorry to interrupt. How many slides we have today left?
Now it is almost over.
Yeah, because it is 12:30 a.m. here for me.
Okay. Okay, so this is the largest enterprise around. We have that organization they are using. Okay, most of the organization they are using, and Dynatrace is running on the first quadrant. So this slide little older, but is running in the first quadrant, and which is your Gartner. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, so any questions you have?
Any open source observability tools we have?
Yeah, we have many.
Okay. Any name for them?
Open source means you can use see any open source tools if you talk about, right? They have their enterprise little bit also. Like if you talk about observability tools, okay? For infrastructure, we have many. For application, we have very less and limited. You can do that. But you might have heard about the Signos. One of the famous tools is coming in the market. Okay, developed by one of the IITian. Okay, so we have, but there also have an enterprise environment. Okay, so depend on that. because for our application observability, people don't go prefer with the open source.
Okay.
So that's